those
Isn't that
words.
red dot mean recorded?
At least
Yeah, and the time
to a
I assume
conversant
it's
level.
okay.
It's okay if you're like, wait, what was the shield drop again? But as long as you have a basic idea, and I'll be helping you along, then I'll be good. Okay?
Just have a synopsis this guys just very briefly. This is the first time.
Okay, so basic, like important advanced stuff that you need to know. Wave dashing. Ring a bell?
I've never many of the terms I have not heard of at all.
Okay,
But I've played a decent amount. I should be able to pick up.
got it. So wave dashing is.
Oh,
If you go to training, it took me a long time. But then you don't get to wait. You can't use it.
Can you plug in your controller and do stuff?
Listen, if you were using it last time.
I might
I know.
request the help of some other assistants. So,
Whoa. That's grimy.
Mark's like, I got it.
alright, so important highlights of last week. Wave dash is a combination of jump.
You're Luigi.
I'm Marth. Watch me. You're Jordan. It's jumping and dodging in the air with L or R, either down right or down left, really fast. So like it looks like this in slow motion, and the sooner you start your dodge, the better it is, because if you do it fast enough, you just kind of start sliding on the ground. See that? So the cool part about wave dashing is once you're done the wave dash, you can do literally anything. Literally anything. Like you can try to like run, you still like displace yourself a little bit, but you can do a lot of things out of the run animation. So an example, like you can't run and then forward smash because you're still in that run animation. But if you wave dash forward and forward smash, you can do that. Make sense? So wave dash into like tilts, smashes, grabs, whatever, anything. Okay, so that's a wave dash, and it's just another movement option that you can take advantage of. L canceling, I don't think I even mentioned L canceling, but L canceling is when you aerial into the ground, and as you hit the ground, there's a little lag until you can do something else. So that lag can be cut in half if you press L or R as soon as you hit the ground. Okay? It's called an L cancel. So this is an L cancel where you can just repeatedly aerial into the ground. Huh? So here's my down air. Here's without L cancel.
Oh, look at Woomy.
I'm going to shield afterwards to show all these things. Okay, so I hit the ground, and like it's a long time until I can shield. But if I L
All
cancel,
the bother people.
a lot faster. See that? So you got the time in half. Got a pivot. A pivot is when you run and turn around. You kind of displace yourself a little bit. Sorry. Like that.
Calm down.
It's useful in a lot of characters, and we'll get into uses later. Short hop. There's full hop. Short hop. Everything make sense? Anyone have any questions about those? Okay, and if we get into any terms that might be a little hazy, I'll just explain them again. Okay, so let's get into it. Is it recording?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Red button's
All
on.
right.
Tazewell cards.
Welcome everyone to Tazewell Talk 2, tomorrow. I know it's late, had some prior commitments, but normal time will be 6, around 6. So thanks for everyone for coming. Today's presentation will be the start of our first big topic, which is decision making. So what decisions do you make when you play this Super Smash Bros. Game? What do you do? When do you do it? Why do you do it? What are your thought processes of making sure you get that hit, hitting them, and then making sure they don't come back onto the stage? Okay? You got a question?
I do.
Okay. All right. So, today's lecture will be on neutral game. Okay? This will probably be a 4-part presentation overall series on decision making, but today is neutral game. So, the 4 parts of decision making: combo game, what you do when you're hitting them, how do you keep on hitting them and not let them get out of your combo. Second is edge guarding. If you hit them off the stage, what do you do to make sure they can't get back on? Third is survival. How do you get back onto the stage? How do you not get comboed? What is DI? And then the 4th is neutral game, which we'll be talking about today. So neutral game, can someone tell me what neutral game is? People keep throwing around definitions. Someone give me a guess. Yeah.
It's when both players have all their options.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good start. Someone want to expand? Yeah.
I was going to say it's just the state of the game, and the game mediums where another player has an advantage over the other.
Yes, I like that too. So, and there are plenty of definitions for a neutral game. What we're going to talk about today, neutral game is what the two players are thinking and doing to try to get the first hit. Okay? It's how do you hit your opponent when you're both kind of like facing each other down on like opposite sides of the stage. What do? Like, how do you actually hit them if you're so far away? And what are your options? So as I said, you want to hit them. You don't want to get hit. A lot of neutral game is controlling the space. So like manipulating the distance between you and your opponent, and kind of like micro spacing. I like that word a lot because you're controlling the space in between you, and it's a push pull because like both characters have control over the space, and you need to be with the wave of the space. You need to be able to control it both ways, reacting to their control of the space as well as applying your own pressure. It's kind of like a dance because both characters will be running around the stage, running towards each other, running away from each other, throwing out aerials, and it's like both characters are trying to like land that first step in a waltz that will start the combo. Any questions so far? Neutral game, it's a hazy concept. It makes a lot more sense once you actually start getting used to the idea. We're going to start with approaching. So again, things to keep in mind, you want to get hit without getting hit. Okay? So the first subset of approaching will be direct approaching. So this is, imagine your opponent is just standing there, you're running towards them. What can you do to hit them? So, can you go like Martha Fox? So I'm going to pretend Timmy's just going to stand there. If he's just sitting there and I want to approach him on the ground, here's something I can do. I can run forward, dash attack. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I can run forward and like side B him, or run forward and up B, if that hit. I can run forward and grab. Another option would be I can run forward, wave dash forward, and what's the advantage there if I wave dash towards him?
You can do it.
Do anything. You can literally do anything. Okay, so running towards him is fine, but again, you really only have like these three options on the ground: dash attack, specials, and grab. But if you wave dash, then all of a sudden I can wave dash forward up tilt. I can wave dash forward jab, and a lot more options. A slight variation, you can actually wave dash in place if you want to direct approach. I mean, that's another movement option. Okay, if I want to approach in the ground, and again, this is assuming he's just kind of standing there, I can run in forward air. I can run it down air if he wasn't crouching. So there's a slight difference between rising and falling aerials with direct approaches. So rising means you start the aerial as soon as you jump off the ground. Okay? So an example, if Marth starts the first hit with a short hop forward air, then maybe he can follow up with a second forward air before he hits the ground. Okay, there's your combo. But you can also short hop, and then as soon as you reach the apex, you start your fall into an aerial L cancel. So this is the shuffle curve that I mentioned last week. Short hop, fast fall, L cancel. Yeah? Yeah? Make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So if you shuffle an approach, then you hit with a different part and a different timing of the sword. Okay? So rising, falling. And you can see they kind of send Fox in different ways. Then we'll get more about the differences a bit later. Any questions so far? So this is if you assume that they're just standing still. But we all know no one really just stands still. People will be moving around when you try to hit them. So this is where I'm going to call this indirect approaches. So this is where you want to hit places where they aren't currently, but you think they will be by the time your hitbox hits them. Okay? So again, we have grounded ones. So if I think that he is going to run towards me, if I run towards him. Okay? So like as I run towards him, he's going to run towards me, and then I can wave dash back and do something. Ready? Oh! Okay. Another cool one is a B reverse. So this is like, trying to think. Okay, short story. My brother played Hungrybox on NetPlay a few days ago. Hungrybox claimed that my brother was the best Monk he's ever played. And it was really cool because like my brother was like predicting everything. He did so many of these indirect approaches where he would be like, all right, Hungrybox is gonna roll right here. Let's go on Battlefield. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on Battlefield, let's say Jigglypuff is on a platform holding shield. Okay, and this is an example of a B reverse that I saw. So you're holding shield, you can let go. So I'm gonna jump up, predict that he's gonna roll to the right, and B reverse a shield breaker. Okay, ready? Oh. Indirect approach, example of a B reverse. Okay, and a lot of characters have cool B reverses. I mean, it's kind of more applicable in like Product Dev, where like literally everyone has B reverse. But it's just another option. And then the last ground one I'll talk about is over/underextending. So let's say I want a dash attack. You shouldn't be doing that anymore. Let's say I want a dash attack, but I want to land the very tip of my sword on him. Okay, because Marth, if you hit with the tip of the sword, it's like a pretty cool trajectory that they get sent to. So like we already saw the grounded one, where where like you can just dash attack them on the ground. But again, they're not going to be standing still in an actual game. So I'm thinking, maybe if I run towards him, he's going to think that I'm going to dash attack where I'm standing in place. So what do? Just walk backwards, wave dash backwards, run backwards, right? But Marth, being a smarty pants, is like, if I run forward, he's going to think that I'm just going to run forward with a dash attack and walk backwards. So instead, I'm going to keep running just a bit farther and catch him out. Okay? So let's try this. I don't know if this is going. I'm going to run towards you. No, you're behind. Oh, why not? Yeah, ready? Okay, what is it? Wait, no, what am I doing? Oh my god. I'm going to run towards you and you run behind. Run backwards, okay? Okay. Oh! See that? So if he was standing still, I probably wouldn't have hit him. Maybe with like the hilt of my sword, which is like a really bad hitbox. But instead, because I was like, he's gonna run backwards, I hit with the proper part of the sword. Does that make sense? And it works the other way too. Like if I want to dash attack, then I can do it a bit earlier if I think he's gonna run forward. Make sense? So there's yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But like, how would you like be able to predict that he's gonna run backward?
So yes, we will get there.
Okay.
For now, just learn your opponent. You learn their habits, and eventually you figure it out.
So you like have to watch what they're doing.
Watch what they're doing, and eventually that's how you figure it out. And we'll talk about that a little later. Okay, so more indirect approaches. Again, if you want an aerial, you can over or under approach. So a big one is like Captain Falcon. Everyone knows like Captain Falcon's down air, that stomp, is really good at starting combos, but it's like such a narrow hitbox that you kind of have to be like, okay, on this huge FD stage, they're going to be like at this exact point by the time I down air. And that's a lot of predicting, and oftentimes you need to utilize the over or under extending technique to kind of get exactly where they're going to be, okay? And then the other one is high aerials. This is something I learned from Armada Sensei. Fox, as Peach, Fox loves to full hop and then drop with a down air. Okay, so what do you do if, like I'm Peach, I run forward to Fox, I try to dash attack where they're standing, but Fox jumps, punishes my dash attack with a down air. What do I do the next time?
Read their jump.
Read their jump. So you jump with them and you hit them in the air. So Armada with Peach likes to full hop up air against Foxes, and like surprising number of times. It seems so weird. Like why would Fox is here and you're gonna hit right here, but like 80% of the time he does it, Fox falls into it. Okay, so a lot of time high aerials are good. Like if I'm gonna run with Marth, I can like jump with a neutral air or a forward air, and if I have read my opponent correctly, they'll jump into it. Okay, any questions so far? All right. The last approach we'll talk about is more defensive or bait option. So this is kind of like enticing your opponent to do something, okay? I actually like to show this when I'm Sheik versus a Marth. This is like my classic example of mind games. So if, get on the ground, if Sheik is running towards Marth, Marth can just forward smash, right? So get back a little bit. I'm gonna run towards you. Oh!
Wow.
Can we do that again? Yeah. Oh! So,
Are you
wave
still
dash
shit?
backwards in the middle of your dash towards them because they're kind of expecting, like what? Let's think context. If I'm running towards a Marth, what am I going to do? Dash attack, right? Dash attack is such a good move as Sheik. It starts combos and it's really good, and it's good for his Marth because it gets past his sword. Unless he like forward smashes early enough to catch me out of it, like that. So if I'm like, if I run forward, he's just gonna dash or just gonna forward smash me. What if I bait that out by wave dashing back and then running forward and punishing it? Make sense? So another way to do this is to run forward and shield. I got it. No, you hit me. So okay, do it again. So what happened there? I ran forward, shielded his attack, wave dashed out of shield, and grabbed. Yeah, Dan. God.
The sequence for wave dash is you press jump and then it's L and down in the right or left direction
Yeah,
at the same time.
that's it. It's like super fast. Right, and you can do it out of shield because you can jump out of shield.
All right.
So if you can jump out of shield, then you can also wave out of shield. Make sense?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, the running forward and shield option, that was like huge in Brawl, because Brawl shield mechanics were trying to be different, but it applies in this game too. And the last grounded approach is running forward and crouch canceling. So this might not work against Marth, but try to like forward tilting or something. So what happened there is I ran forward, crouched in front of him, so that when, you can see like with the forward smash even, if he hits me, I can still do stuff. Crouch canceling, if you crouch and get hit, you aren't sent as far, and oftentimes you're still in the crouch animation afterwards. So, now this kind of goes against the whole hit them and don't get hit, because you're getting hit in the process, but sometimes it's worth to run forward, crouch cancel whatever they're about to do, and then punish accordingly, especially as Peach, and we'll get to more about that later. Otherwise, like, you can see the aerial approaches, like, if I'm gonna approach them in the air, I can be like, oh, nope, nope. It doesn't put you in too favorable position, but I mean, at least it's something. You can also like jump higher than them to get past like the forward smash range, go behind them or something. And then the last one is like, if you're approaching someone, like I mentioned before, with an early hitbox, it's good if you think they're gonna try to throw out a late starting move. So think Fox, you just run at them and you just short hop neutral there. It beats out so many people's options. Like it'll get past Marth's forward smash, it'll get past Sheik's forward tilt a lot of the time. I mean a lot of it depends on timing, but it's also just another option. Any questions about that? Okay. Alright, next we're gonna go to defensive options. So I'm not gonna split these into like aerial and grounded because you can kind of make sense of it for yourself. The first one we'll talk about blocking is just shielding. Okay? Alright, I want to make sure we're in a different mindset now. We're not approaching them. Instead, they're approaching us, and we're still trying to get the first hit and avoid getting hit. Okay? So, you're going to approach me. I'm going to shield. Oh, look at that. Damage blocked. Okay? Remember, you have different options like the power shield. I talked about if you shield as soon as their hitbox is about to hit you, then like there's this weird air around you, you end up getting pushed back a little bit, but you have no shield stun. So you can act out of that as soon as possible and punish accordingly. Okay? Again, that's really hard to do on reaction. As a reminder, Mango said that only he and Armada are the ones who like utilize it to a very high extent. But another option. And then the other one is light shielding. Look at that. Look how big my shield is. Like you can't. No chance of shield poking. It's a good defensive option if I want to just like sit here on the shield. Because if you hit me, even with the shield breaker, I just get pushed back onto the ledge, and I'm still in a safe spot. Another option, a lot of people have been questioning why, like, if the opponent is, I just killed the opponent, they're back on the top platform respawning, and they're invincible. So what I like to do is just sit on a platform with a light shield. Because if they hit me at all, like even a slight nudge, hit me with anything, I get knocked off the stage or the platform. I'm in a free standing animation, so I can do whatever I want, and they're still recovering from their hit animation lag, and their invincibility has run out. Yeah? Okay. So what beats shield? Grab. Grab is like the only thing that beats shield unless you have like a shield right here. But I mean, you just take that into account. Like if I'm going to hold shield, what do I think they're going to do? Oh, look at that. Do it again. Oh, look at that. Like they can't grab me when I'm in the air, so just another option. Okay. Kind of a specific one is counters. Like Marth has one, Peach has one. It's just a move that takes a hit. Do it again. And like you don't even take any damage and you counterattack them. So I'll get very specific, but it's another way to not get hit and hit them in return. And the last one is trades. So trading is when it's kind of like crouch canceling, where you throw out a hitbox where they still hit you, but you also hit them. And crossing fingers, you do more damage to them than they did to you. So like Jigglypuff, Peach, they thrive off of trades. Because a lot of their moves are just kind of like out there. And if they hit like a Fox neutral air with a Peach neutral at the same time, Peach often wins the trade, just the way the moves end up working. Especially like if Peach takes a neutral air to get a down smash off on the Fox, there's like, you take what, 11% and you do like 60? That's a pretty fair trade. Yeah, that's trades. Any questions so far?
Can you show me like a Fox trying to nair a Peach and then Peach like getting more percent out of it? Can you demonstrate that?
Yes, I'd love to. Can you go 5?
I just want to see it.
You want to see it?
Have you never
happened. This is how
it looks like.
This is literally the reason why I beat Red last time, is because he just kept on running into neutral airs. Do it again?
Nice
Yeah, I got
shot.
it. Oh, oh, look at that. Like, I'm just sitting here. Oh, and like higher percents, it's not as good, but like then you just run forward on that or whatever. So yeah, that's
Yeah, let's see your points.
so how do you beat crouch canceling? Grab, or you just hit them with something that they can't hit you back. Like Marth, you just forward smash them, and Peach has nothing to back.
High knock.
Yeah, high knockback moves. And yeah, grab. So another tangent. Some characters actually can't grab other characters that are crouching. Like Jigglypuff is really short, Kirby is really short, so you just need to figure out other ways to beat them.
Is something that you guys keep in mind the fact that some players are able to kill, another one much more easily with less damage, so that trades may not be as favorable.
Yep.
Even if a given amount of damage you sustain some damage,
Right.
but it's not quite worth it what you give back, considering how they'll be able to capitalize on the amount of damage that you sustain in the process.
Right,
If
so
they're
then-
like Bowser.
Yeah, the two characters I mentioned, Peach and Jigglypuff, they rely on trades a lot, but they're both very light characters. You kill them at like 80% with a Fox up smash or something. So like,
It's always kind of.
right. So especially trading with kill moves is often not a good idea if you're in that percent. But like, if you're both at low percent and you get a trade like, oh, I get neutral air in exchange for a down smash, that's definitely worth it. Especially against Fox, because I know like another tangent. Fox is very like, he's a fast faller, which means it's really easy to combo him once he gets to like 40 to 50% with Peach, let's say. So like the down smash, you take 11% and you do 40%. All of a sudden you're in that combo range where like the next grab can lead to a kill. Whereas if you grab them at 0, if the trade didn't happen, no kill would happen. Does that make sense? Yeah. And we'll be talking about that in future presentations too. But yeah, sometimes trades are not worth it, especially if you're good at it. Okay, so more defense options. Let's talk about actually moving. What movement options do you have to like physically avoid the damage? So like, if you're shielding, you have a lot of stuff. You can sidestep by pressing down, you can roll by pressing left or right, you can jump, and you can air dodge in the air. So these are all just ways in the neutral game to avoid damage. And more movement options if you just want to run. So like this kind of ties back to what I was saying at the very beginning. Like, if Fox is running towards me and I'm at like 100%, what is he gonna do? Up smash. He's gonna run forward and up smash. So how do I beat that? I just like I can wave that back. I can like run backwards. I can like jump. I can even pivot if you want to be fancy, which probably wouldn't work with Peach. Oof. Our pivot is so bad. So yeah, it's just more options to avoid getting hit. Okay, and we'll see more applications the more we talk about this game. And the last one, we talked about kind of defensive approaching. So let's talk about offensive defense. Aggressive defense, let's call it that. So this is, we talked about it before, like ways where you utilize your defensive options in return for hitting them. So a big one is just like, if they're running towards me, Peach is so slow, so Fox is so fast. So sometimes I just want to sit here and like throw out hitboxes and like kind of hope that he's gonna hit me. Back here is a big one, like you just kind of like throw stuff out, kind of like hitting them before they can hit you, even though they're approaching. Okay, I can even like forward smash or down smash or up smash, just like ways to hit them and intercept their approach. The other one is crouch canceling, as we demonstrated before. Like, yes, you take a hit, but if you get a down smash off of it, then it's totally worth it.
Oh.
All right, hold down. I want to see how much damage you can do.
Yeah, hold down. All right, but you have to charge it also.
You can die.
Hold down.
Oh,
That's it?
Easy
I
five.
thought it was 95.
So it depends on what.
If you kill
To be
yourself,
the eye better, please.
Huh?
if you kill yourself, it'll end
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, and then the last one is trades. Again, you take percent, but sometimes it's worth to do a little bit more percent to them. Yeah. Okay, so there are a lot of approaching and defending interactions. So this is where both characters, now you get into the actual dance and the control of the space in between you, where like both characters have to keep in mind all of the options that we mentioned in both approaching and defending, and controlling the space. So a couple more terms. Zoning is actually, I actually really like the zoning term. I applied it a lot in Brawl, and we can talk later if you want about Brawl, but every character has like specific zones. So these are areas around their frame where they're most dangerous. So where do you think Peach's zone is?
Her skirt.
Or down smash range.
Down smash range. That's the big one. Like you can see when she's down smashing like those little wisps, anything in that area, that's her zone. So it's like a washing machine vortex. Like you don't want to be there. Now other zones that she has, like in the air, you don't want to be in the range of her forward air, which is right there. Yeah, this cool little like star thing. That's why. But
What is it?
where can Peach not cover?
What is that?
What did Peach? Yeah, on top. Like what do you have? Like full hop up air? Up smash is such a terrible move. You can try like covering it with neutral air, but look at that. Look at where our arms are. It's like this. You can hit her head.
Doing the sound of music.
The sound. Yeah. So like every character has these kinds of zones. Like Fox's, you want to really be careful about his short hop neutral air height, because that's a big one. Rising and falling, he covers like that whole distance with his neutral airs. If I have a lot of percent, where do I not want to be against Fox? Shine range, up smash range, up air range, grab range, those all can lead to kills, and those are his zones that I want to avoid. Okay? That makes sense? So, like, going back to Brawl, I can think of, like, the way I thought of Brawl, as my percent as Peach got higher and higher, there were more and more moves that the opponent could use to kill me. Okay? Like, I'd be fine taking like from 150% to 160%, like that's not a big deal. But that 10% difference all of a sudden added in like Snake's down tilt into the range or his third hit jab. And those were just more zones I had to be careful of when dealing with Snake. Okay, that makes sense? So in this game it's the same thing. Like if I'm at 50%, then I obviously want to stay away from Captain Falcon's Falcon Punch. But like as I get higher and higher percent, like all of a sudden his like forward smash, his knee, his grab, and just things keep on piling up and up and up. And eventually you get to the point where you literally can't be hit by anything if you do want to live. Okay? Shield pressure is another it's pretty interesting. I'm not going to get into the whole like frame numbers and like hit shield stun and all of that, because honestly I can't tell you. There are a lot of people here who could tell you that. But there's a lot of cool stuff that happens when one person is shielding and the other person is attacking the other person's shield. Okay? So like if I'm shielding, what can Fox do? Grab me. Right? Grab me. If Fox with a late drill, remember not an early one, a late one, so drills into the ground to hit my shield, I cannot grab the drill because Fox can shine me as my grab comes out, and right before I actually grab them, the shine hits me, and then I get hit by the shine. Make sense? Fox shine is frame what?
One.
Yeah, so anything that takes more than one frame to do at a shield, we'll lose. Okay? A lot of characters have some cool out of shield options. Like, you don't want to just be sitting in shield and just let them keep hitting your shield, otherwise the shield's going to break. The goal is to hit them after blocking whatever attack they're doing. So like Peach has up B out of shield. That's frame like 5 or 6 or something. Hit me. Okay.
Wow.
What's that?
was
With an
grimy.
aerial.
You saw his shield small.
With an aerial. Oh. Never mind. Pretend. Do it again. Oh.
Oh wait, let's let your shield recharge. Okay, ready?
Light shield it.
Whatever. Okay, so up he had a shield. Hulk kept on trying to hit Bowser's shield at the tournament last Saturday, and kept getting up out of shield because Bowser has a really good up out of shield. Now, what else can you do out of shield? Like, as Peach, I can like flow cancel neutral there. So I can also short hop neutral there. Short hop back here. You can roll out. If you press the C stick when you're shielding, this actually buffers a roll. Buffer means that even if you input the roll as you're getting shield stunned, as soon as the first frame of being able to do something occurs, then your roll starts.
Is it only with the C stick?
Only with C stick. Yeah, it doesn't work with it. Yeah, I know. The more you learn. So that's useful for getting out of shield pressure. I'll give a couple more examples. Like, yeah.
What do you mean shield stun?
So shield stun is if someone hits your shield, and like you can't act out of it because there are a certain number of frames where you're just getting hit.
Is that vary based on what move hits you?
Yeah.
Damage.
Yeah. Damage and move. Oh geez.
no.
What is it? Is it 8 minutes? Okay. So yeah, another example of shield pressure. If Peach shield. If Peach drops with a forward air, what can I do? Grab, down smash, jab, or keep telling me, look cancel there, or keep going. Down, like down smash.
You can counter.
You can predict their roll with a dash attack. You can predict their roll shield with a grab. You can predict their jump with a full hop neutral air or up air, depending on where they're going to go. You can predict their jump backwards with a full hop forward air.
Taunt.
You can taunt. So like, there's like so many things that you can do after your forward air that it actually makes those like tiny windows of interactions really interesting, because there's so many things both players can do. Like Fox going along with what Peach can do. What can Fox do when you get shield? Yeah, you can shine out a shield, you can wave shine out a shield, you can jump out a shield, you can roll, you can spot dodge, you can up smash out a shield. So many options.
Pacifist.
You can even like drop your shield and try to run away if you want. Probably that's my idea, but like shine is down B. Can you know the down B?
Yeah.
See that? So like normally it's a reflector, but if you get really close to someone, it just like nudges them away. And that's arguably the best move in the game.
Oh, I thought it was gonna
Okay, moving on. Any questions about shield pressure? I mean, like, if someone else wants to give a super detailed presentation on like frame data, I'm not the guy to do that. I'm sure someone else will be willing to. Cop, hear it. But any questions that I could potentially answer? Okay, all right. So now we're gonna start talking about like mix-ups. We kind of touched on it before without actually calling it anything, but mix-ups are when you think about every single option that you have in a certain situation, like we just did, and picking one that'll throw your opponent off. So like a mix-up, let's say I forward air his shield. The first time I grab, Okay, after the forwarding. So the next time, Timmy's thinking, last time he forwarded my shield, I got grabbed. So what I'm going to do instead is spot dodge. I'm going to spot dodge the grab and punish it. So I'm thinking, last time I got the grab on Timmy, so he's gonna beat it this time by spot dodging. So instead I'm gonna down smash. Ready? Oh! Mix-ups. Because the second time I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it again because he obviously will figure out how to beat it. So I'm just gonna down smash. So the third time, Timmy's like, okay, I've been grabbed once, I've been down smashed the next time. So he's probably gonna grab me again because he thinks I'm gonna assume he's gonna down smash again. And I'm thinking like, I grabbed the first time, I down smashed the second time. He's thinking I'm gonna grab this time because it's different from the last time. So instead I should down smash again. So the next time this interaction happens, he spot dodges again, and I get to down smash again.
He's beating you like a bug dog.
I know, right? Come on, step it up. So mix-ups, that's talking about like the shield pressure, but mix-ups occur literally every time you do anything in this game. Because there are always like 1,000 options you can choose from, and which one are you gonna do? If you end up falling into the same habits and like the same processes and the same approaches and the same defensive options over and over again, you'll be predictable, and your opponent will figure out how to beat it. So the way to beat your opponent is to utilize every single one of your options in an intelligent way that you don't become obvious. Does that make sense? So again, like this is something that I can't teach you how to do. What I can help you all with is expand your vocabulary of options. I remember like I had this really long training session with new guy, if you guys don't know him, he's
Brian.
MTFC Brian, and like he was talking about shield pressure with Falco. Like, yes, Falco, like you laser, falling down or shine, and then like do all your crazy shine, shield, whatever stuff. But like that gets so obvious the 9th time you do it, and then people figure out how to beat that kind of stuff. So what can you do instead? Maybe instead of continuing to like laser towards them, maybe you back up with a laser. Just a mix-up. And like mix-ups apply to combo game too, survival DI and everything else that we'll talk about later. Like mix-ups is a huge part of this game. And we'll touch on it a little bit more later. Part of mixing up is learning your opponent. So this is like being aware of what your opponent decides to do with their mix-up game. So like, I was aware that Timmy was gonna like, just shield the first time and let me grab him. I was aware, okay, maybe I wasn't aware, I was just kind of putting thoughts in his head, but like, I was aware that he knows he has the option of spot dodging my grab, and so I punished accordingly by down smashing, okay? And like, this, learning the opponent is, to be honest, a big weakness of our school and the competitive scene, because a lot of our players end up losing because they don't learn what the opponent is doing, okay? Now like, I used to be like that. I used to just kind of go into a game with like one style. If it works, I win. If it doesn't work, I don't win. Like my Lucas in Project M and 3.0, I didn't learn anything. I just like got my shield pressure to be at an okay state where as soon as I got one hit, I would just spam down air neutraler until they died. But like, it doesn't really work like that. Because the first time I played someone who figured out how to beat that, I got destroyed. I couldn't touch them. Even to this day, I'm really bad at learning people with Lucas. But it's important to like focus not only about your own options, but your opponent's choices of their options. Even like they might not even know all of their options exist. But it's important to be like, okay, this guy knows how to wave shine out of shield. So I need to make sure I don't put myself in a position where they can wave shine out of shield. Yeah, makes sense? Okay. And the last one is predictions versus reactions. This is actually like, it's a pretty big deal. A lot of people, especially newer people learning this game, they tend to rely on predicting. They try to like read your opponent's movements like so hard that, ready? I'm gonna be standing here. Oh god dang it missed. Like, I'm predicting he's just gonna run towards me by charging a fully charged smash and like hoping he ends up running into me. Like, what does that even do? Maybe he is running towards me. Okay, let's try it again.
Shows some courtesy.
So like maybe he is. But how many times, like how many seconds or milliseconds did Fox have to be like, Peach is charging up a fully charged forward smash. Maybe I shouldn't just walk right into it, right? So that's the difference. I know it's a very exaggerated difference, but Peach, I was predicting him to just walk right into me. And Fox, if it's just walking forward, like maybe Fox had a really hard read or something, but the second you like react to the situation and you like stop, you're like, wait, I'm not gonna run into you, Peach, then you avoid all the damage. Okay? And again, like this applies to so many possible situations, like tech chasing, chain throwing. Like if I'm gonna up throw, Peach has a chain throw on Fox. Okay? Up throw, you run forward and grab, up throw again. But Fox can get out of it by DIing left or right. Okay? So if I grab Fox and I'm like, okay, he's gonna DI forward. So I'm ready. I got the next one, okay? I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna do DI in place. Okay? Thanks for following along. But to be honest, if you commit to an option like that, Fox has what, 3 options, maybe 4? One option is to DI all the way to the right, one is to DI behind, another is to not DI at all, and the 4th is DI slightly behind me. Okay? So I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna predict, I'm just gonna like have one in mind and hope it works. Ready? Oop. What's your guess? So, what if I react to it?
Oh. Hey.
Make sense? And then you can like kill afterwards or something. So, and again, this is kind of another exaggerated example. When reacting and predicting, like very, very tiny windows exist that you still are able, like physically able to react. And if you choose to react instead of going for a hard prediction, you can start continuing your combo and wrecking ball damage. And again, we'll get into a lot more examples of these. I know a lot of this is kind of theory crafting at the moment, but it all makes sense once you actually start playing the game. Okay. Alright, now the fun stuff. My favorite projectiles. I'll say Peach. You go Fox or Falco. Go Falco. Alright, so we've talked about approaching, we've talked about defending, and kind of their interactions in between. So what about if you don't want to approach but you still want to do damage? A lot of characters have projectiles, so like options to still rack on damage towards your opponent without actually approaching or like putting yourself in danger. So Falco has a great one, just lasers. Like if you stand on the other side of the stage, you can just laser at me. Like I can try to avoid it, but look how much like space he's covering with them. So projectiles are often safe because they're like technically just disjointed. Like I don't even know if this is the correct terminology for it, but projectiles can hit someone without risking taking damage. Like if he's shooting lasers at me, what? I'm gonna like hit the laser. If I hit the laser, Falco's not gonna take any damage. So it's very safe in that sense, and it's just good for like racking on damage. Yeah, Peach has turnips too. Okay. So, we have these projectiles, but what's the point of racking on percent if it's just like 2 or 3% at a time? Projectiles are often used best when combining them with your offensive and defensive options. So an example, approaching with Falco's laser. Oh, look at that. Do it again. Like, oh my god, stop it. I'll do it. So like Falco, his lasers, they have hit stun, right? If you hit someone with a laser, they get stunned a little bit. So if they're in the air, any animations they're currently in kind of get canceled with the laser. So like it's really good at approaching someone else with your lasers so that their options are severely reduced, okay? And this kind of goes along with like the whole pressure thing. Like if I'm running towards you and with lasers, yeah, again, I don't play Falco, but I don't play Falco either. But, like if you're running in with lasers, then,
It's hard.
Oh. So then once you get the first hit, like the Falco lasers add the hit stun, provide the pressure, stop take away a lot of their zone potential unless you get the first hit instead. Okay. And again, as I mentioned, like the hit stun involved helps you with that pressure and stuff. And then if like a Falco is lasering Peach, she can't really do anything if she's actually getting hit. Like the Falco laser hit stun leads into the next move's hit stun. So the next down air, the next neutral, yeah.
So like if they are trying to defend themselves by like running away with the laser, like prevent them from doing that and let you like hit it or something?
Yeah, it could. Like if they're running away and you're just, I mean, like first of all, you could just be shooting lasers anyways to rack on percent.
Yeah.
But even if you're approaching with lasers and they're trying to like avoid you by running away, you just approach it a little bit more. Push them into the corner. Like Falco loves the situation where you're standing like right there holding shield. If you're just holding shield, this is like Falco's ideal place, especially the super technical Falco players that can like just go ham on your shield with like triple shines and shines on shield and all that kind of stuff. Because Falco's options on shield are a lot more diverse and good, again I don't want to go into the shield pressure stuff, than the opponent's options. So Falco's like a very, Falco can be a very aggressive, shield pressure heavy, zone pressure heavy, projectile heavy character. That just kind of like forces your opponent into a corner and prevents them from doing well. So this also works from the other side. If you're defending and you have a projectile, you still have all the options. Like someone is running towards me, I just start lasering. And then a lot of the other opponent's options are canceled, or at least reduced a lot, because they have to deal with these lasers. So like, go to the other side of the stage. So if he's trying to approach me and I'm just shooting lasers, what can he do? What can he do? What part of the stage can he do or go to avoid these lasers? Jump. He can jump up, right? But if he's all the way in the air, still really far away from me, first of all, he has to come down eventually and get back into the lasers. Second of all, a lot of characters like pretend it's Peach, pretend it's Jigglypuff, who like has to jump over these lasers. They don't have options directly below them that they can cover with strong moves. Like yes, Peach has the forward air, but again, you've like already forced Peach into like out of her comfort zone. She can't down smash in the air. She can't grab in the air. She has to come down with something. So you're forcing her to kind of like come down with an unsafe option that you can really take advantage of and punish. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, like Peach's turnips are another good example. If someone's running at you, you just throw a turnip at them. Problem solved. Okay, and we talked about some of these examples. So like Falco's lasers is great because it's like tiny bursts of shield pressure, or hit stun. The problem with Falco's lasers is that you can power shield them. So that would reflect the lasers and actually end up being a projectile of your own. So like what I like to do as Peach, I'm running towards Falco, he lasers me, I power shield so that the laser is changing directions and running towards them. So while the laser is heading towards them, I run forward, use the hit stun provided by his own laser to combo into my dash attack or my neutral or something, okay? And I've told the people this, I'm actually pretty good at power shielding lasers because I played a lot of Guitar Hero when I was younger.
Guitar Hero 2.
3. I was a 3 Alright. So yeah, Falco's lasers can be used both offensively and defensively. You can run away with lasers too. You can use, like, you can mix up with shield pressure. I was telling you before, like, you run forward, and then all of a sudden you run back. And you run forward, and you run back. So...
Oh.
There.
Okay. Good job. Alright. Cheek needles are another great option. So like, yes, you can just charge needles and like hope you hit them on the ground. But what I like to do, you full hop and release your needles as you're falling to connect into a grab or anything else. So you can hold the charge by shielding after the full charge. So like you jump, as you fall, so after you fall, you run and grab. Okay? So they're still in the hit stun from the needles. And there's your offensive approach. And like, if they're approaching you, and you just want to like shoot a laser, or not a laser, a needle, you can. Why not? Or you can shoot a lot of needles. Options there. We talked about Peach's turnips. Now Fox's lasers are kind of a special case. Why?
No hits.
No hits done. Now Fox, like the best character in the game, one of the reasons is actually that reason is because his projectile, his laser has no hits done. So like you can power shield his lasers, but you just do like 1% back to Fox. Like Falco, if you power shield it, you get that hits done, which you can utilize. But Fox, look at it, it's so broken. Like it doesn't disrupt the opponent, which has its disadvantages. But it's really useful for just tacking on percent at any point of the game, especially versus slower characters. So, like you can, if you watched Evo, like the top 8, Armada like shot so many lasers versus Hungrybox's Jigglypuff, because Jigglypuff has so few options when approaching Fox. Fox just has to sit here and like short hop double laser over and over again, and like you can even like jump to cover the Jigglypuff jumping over them. You just keep racking up percent, and as soon as they get close, you just run in with a neutral. Okay. You run with a neutral or something to like to intercept whatever option they thought they had to be your lasers. Okay? Does that make sense? So Fox's lasers can be really annoying, especially regarding camping. Now camping is a part of neutral game that like brawl players love. I loved it. But it can be a little frustrating for melee players. So camping is when you decide like, alright, I'm not going to approach. I'm just going to keep chucking projectiles, keep shooting lasers, racking on percent. And because I have this like the percent lead, I'm going to force them to approach me. Okay? And by doing that, a lot of characters' options are severely limited again. But I still have all of my options, and so I win the mix-up game. So camping can be like a little frustrating. I've played plenty of top players who are like, all right, I'm a Spacey, you're a Peach. So the Spacey would just literally just sit on the top platform. And it's like, all right, what am I gonna do with this super slow character? I can like try to jump and like hit them out, but I get hit. I can try to throw projectiles upwards, but what am I gonna do? So camping is good for like tacking on damage as well as frustrating your opponent, because let's say Falco kills me. Let's say I die. I have 3 stocks and he has 4. Any percent that he does to me is worth a lot more than the percent that I do to him because of the stock difference. That makes sense? If you have that stock lead, then why not camp? Why not force them to approach you? Because if they don't, what happens? Timeout. If you literally sit there with a lead, neither person approaches, and the timer runs out, whoever has the first check, whoever has more stocks, wins. If you have even stocks, whoever has more percent loses. Okay? So if you have that stock lead, there's really no reason to approach, especially with a fast character like Fox and Falco versus a slow character like Peach. So, by utilizing this camping strategy, you can really take away so many of Peach's options. Like, we were talking about trades. How is Peach going to down smash Falco up there? How am I going to take a neutral or exchange for a down smash when Falco is up there? Like, I can like try to like waveland up or something and like hope you hit me with an unsafe option and try to down smash. But if you're smart, if you know my options and you know your options, wouldn't even be a possibility. Yeah.
How do you get around camping?
How do you get around camping? You tell me, because I have no idea.
Oh.
Alright, moving on. Okay, so to conclude, neutral game is a dance. It's both players maneuvering around each other, utilizing as many options as they can and as many mix-ups as they can to land the first hit. You both need to control the space around you, and like you can see, like going back to the whole like you can see the reactions versus predictions thing. I think the less space there is between you, the more you need to rely on reactions. Okay? Like if I'm standing super far away, like yes, I can predict what you're gonna do with like a turnip, because I'm gonna predict that like he's gonna be here in like 1 second. So what I do is like throw a turnip over his head and it might catch him out. That's a prediction. But if Falco is really close and like ready, go back up. If he's gonna drop, then you can react to it. if I try to predict his dropping and he doesn't drop, and he doesn't drop, oh look, I'm in like a useless animation, and you can totally punish me for that. Okay, so remember, every character has their zones, like their moves that start combos, their moves that can kill, their moves that cover a lot of space and that like would swat me out of the air. You need to keep track of those zones, and especially as your own percent changes, because character zones change depending on the moves that they want to use. Mix-ups, super important. A big reason how I can help that is to kind of expand your vocabulary, and this will be a lot more useful with like combo game, or at least a lot more evident in combo game, which we'll get to later. But mix-ups are also good in neutral game, where like you just need to utilize every single one of your options and an intelligent sequence. Talk about risk predictions. The other one is learning your opponent. Take the time in matches, like even if you respond and you're like, okay, I died because I forward aired unsafely, and they punished that. So I need to make sure I don't do that again, so I don't get punished. It could be simple as that, and that often changes the outcome of matches. And the last one is just remembering the offensive and defensive interactions that you have. Any questions about anything? Oh, okay. I need a volunteer. Oh! You have less than that. Not done yet, not done yet. Okay. No. There can be. Alright. So, this will be a match, 4 stocks, maybe with pausing, but it'll have a lot of my thoughts of what I'm doing to win. Okay? So, alright? I can stand. Just make sure you see. I'll stand. Okay. Ready?
I did actually.
Ready? I need silence. I need silence. I need silence. I need silence. So I'll probably be pausing just to talk about stuff. You guys ready? 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 Alright, gonna start. Okay. First thing, he pulled out a turnip, right? Good. Utilizing projectiles. But he's so far across the stage, what am I gonna do? Lasers! Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Down smash him.
For free.
I usually switch between Peach and Zelda. I'll play like an occasional Robin just for fun on TV. I would have brought my 3DS, but it was dead, so. So I usually turn it around.
Alright, someone tell me, how would I play this match? Beta up the down smash. I'm making sure I'm not in his down smash zone, right? So I'm not approaching unsafely. Like that first time I got a neutral air, and I think I got a second one too, but because he was such a low percent, he could just crouch cancel down smash. So that was my fault. I messed up. I made a bad decision. What could I have done instead? I could keep on shooting lasers. I can run with back air and hope I outspace the down air or the down smash. I can try to down air, falling, L cancel, and shine before he can get the down smash out. I keep shooting lasers when he's far enough away that he can't actually hit me and punish my laser animation. And then I killed with the back air because he was above me, and Peach has such few options to cover like below her when she's in the air, unless it's a forward air like the very end, which again is really easy to intercept. So I just got it down back air to get the kill. All right. So now I'm thinking, what is he gonna do to change? What am I gonna do to change? What options have we used? What options do I still have that he hasn't seen yet that could work? Let's find out.
Puppy.
All right, so right there. I don't know if that was the best idea. He has a certain number of invincibility frames, right? So he pulled out a turnip. Actually, you could argue either way. So when you have invincibility, sometimes it's good to like set up positional advantage. In this case, item advantage with a turnip pulled out. Now because I was so far away from the respawn point, I don't think he could have hit me flat out with his invincibility frame still intact. So actually that was a good choice. But now he has to somehow get to me all the way across the stage with his turnip. Let's see if he can.
Good arms.
Oh!
Hey.
Oh no!
Take
Take those. What is scrub?
Kind of like hungry. And mango dessert, yeah.
Dude, maybe it's 1.2.
Yeah.
Who's a vice? Choose afterwards.
Dan, you can talk to me when you need me, right?
I have.
Oh,
Nice, you went the jump.
See that? So what happened there? Did I tournament winner? Yeah, I tournament winnered. And he tried to forward smash me. I reacted, not predicted, I reacted to the forward smash, second jumped, and dropped down to the back air to punish his forward smash. Again, Peach has such few options in the air, he's gonna run up and up smash. Why not? Alright, so I know where his respawn point is again, so I'm just gonna come up the stage. Alright, so what is he doing? He's actually doing well.
zoning out.
I mean, he hasn't hit me, but what is he doing?
Zoning you away.
No, well, no. He's jumping. He's trying to hit me in the air where I've been trying to like full hop and drop with back airs. He's like, he's doing that a lot. What if I just jump up and try to intercept him? Like we talked about the indirect approaches of like the high aerials. He's trying to do that, and it's not really working because I'm expecting it. But it's a good effort. Let's see what happens next.
Oh no. What's that? So low. How great are you? Where are you guys from?
Like what hall or what part of
Like part of the country. If you're from the country.
Yeah, I'm from like a little south of
Okay, so what happened there?
Oh,
I was like,
not
alright,
actually in Richmond,
every time I
but
low
Richmond
percent,
County,
he just keeps on going for the down smash. So how do I beat that?
Shall shine.
Well, okay, before that, I full hop with a falling down air. I'll cancel shine. That beats, like, Peach's down air doesn't hit above her, if I just avoid that. Okay? I'll play. Any questions about that match?
Got wrecked.
Alright, if anyone wants to play me at some point tonight and I can explain my decision making, I'd be happy to do that. What?
No, I want to play.
Oh. Okay, at some point. But, yeah, thanks for the match. Any questions? Question about anything?
And sorry, Daniel, by the way.
Alright, thanks guys.
Mark.
Yeah, our should have a class.
Okay.